And it's all for the good cause of the gala. So further ado, we're gonna take Amania. She's in the stream. Like, Amania, hello, how you doing? Are you ready? Are you fired up?
Oh God, boy, I'm always fired up. You know that. But yes, I'm doing great. It's good to see you guys in the studio. Young Vilbert's in the house.
Vibert.
Vibert.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's good to see you all. I'm glad that we can get together, Miss Maggie. Really good to see you. Looking forward to your event, by the way. I actually have an event the morning of your event, but I will be there in the night. Mine is from 11 to 2, so I'll be prepared for yours in the evening.
Amania, do me a favor. Link her event to your page and
Okay.
sign it. Is Miss Maggie, do you have a page?
Mm-hmm. Facebook
No,
page.
for the event completely? On Facebook?
It's on our website.
Okay, but you don't have a event page on Facebook?
No. Well, we do have our organization page on Facebook.
No, for that Pacific event?
No.
Okay. Just go ahead and do that. Yeah.
I think he had said, the gentleman that was here last time, I think he said you guys had an Eventbrite page.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you could share that link, yeah.
Right, the Eventbrite page. That's your page. That's it.
Okay.
Okay, so we can get that through you, and I'll put it on mine.
Okay, yeah, put it in your page.
Okay.
All right, thank you so much.
So, all right, fired up. Let's get
fired up. Dr. White, hello. How are you?
Good afternoon, Judge.
How are you,
Voy? I'm doing very well. Amania. Sister Warrior, we have Sister Maggie, have my son, have her sister daughter here. It's going to be an exciting show tonight, I believe so. I mean, my son is all ready. I mean, he got his notes ready. He's ready to go. He's fired up, just like you, Sister Warrior. You know, Brother Jeff, he's doing the Pee Wee Herman, you know, doing that type of dance there. And he had some music earlier.
I noticed when I know when the heat is outside, and Jeff hasn't get along outside, he dance better.
I mean, he's a Brooklyn guy. He has it all. I mean, he can't stop moving. He can't stop moving. Yeah, so we have a lot to talk about tonight. I mean, we have the New York race that's still kicking up. We have the floods that's going on in Texas. We have Netanyahu that visited the country in the Oval Office.
But our heart goes out to people in Texas. Man.
Yeah, we have to give our prayers to them. I think over 120 people have died.
Yeah, Pastor.
That they know of.
Yeah.
This is something.
And there's still a lot of people missing.
This doesn't supposed to happen in our country like this.
But Dr. I got to ask you something. I'm looking at those labels as Democrat. They're so hateful. They say, well, it's a good thing that happened to a red state. And I'm asking myself, are we living in America?
We're living in an alternative America right now, because when people die, it's not about them being red or blue. It's about them being children of God.
They're being joyous.
All right, and they're suffering. You see? Well, those types of people, I wish I could say it on air, but I just kick them in the teeth. Did I say that?
That's not too
I don't know if you could say that.
Well, that's a terrible thing. So we have to talk
about
that.
I was so shocked to listen to the social media, even some of the news media, even the Connecticut senator blamed Donald Trump because they didn't have the siren warning or short staff, but that been debunked. And certainly they're celebrating because it's happening on a red state.
Yeah.
I'm like, we gone as a country. We done. Yeah. We done. Because I don't think, because so much hate, especially towards this administration, and on the daily basis, somebody want to assassinate some of their members. I mean, it just is, America's gone. Because listen to this nonsense. It's no longer what America used to be anymore. As, we look for another blue state, red state, doesn't matter what state, but now we're hoping things happen to state where most conservative living. This is crazy to me.
Yeah. I mean, instead of blaming anyone in that manner, we have to look at the fact that what Donald Trump stated some years ago, that is the infrastructure of our country is really hurting. I mean, we had people dying in a fire in California. We have people dying in the winter storm in North Carolina. We had people dying in New Orleans several years ago. We have people dying now in Texas. It's about infrastructure. All right. Our infrastructure has to get better, and we have to put money into it, regardless of the party. And if people are out there on the red saying that, oh, I'm blaming this person, no, blame yourself. You've been in Congress, you've been in Senate. All right. You had the opportunity to put money in place so these types of things would not happen. But again, we have to have some type of sympathy, some type of love and care when people are dying, people are suffering. Let's put away this madness.
It is a madness.
And I think that speaks to the divisiveness of our country from a social.
Get close to the mic.
I think that speaks to the divisiveness of our country on a social front. Everything is the media is so focused on trying to get a win over one side or the other, right? So when something happens in the red state, what do we start doing? We start blaming. Oh, it's the.
But when the fire started in California, you don't see anybody from the red states say, "Well, this is good. This has happened to California." None of that.
Oh, you don't.
Yeah.
But you do see people saying, "Oh, it's because of their policies over there for so long that this was bound to happen, or that this was going to happen regardless." And
Well, but you have to understand, California always had
No, and I understand that,
Yeah.
but you see that over the sympathy for the people.
Yeah, but it was so different that, okay, because of California policies and these wildfires happening every summer, but you didn't see the hateful and the divisiveness coming from the right.
But you also didn't see the sympathy either.
I think there was a lot of sympathy.
I don't think there was as much.
I think there was.
I think
a lot
that
of
was
sympathy.
drowned out by everything else.
Well, that's a Generation Z person talking.
But okay. I mean, there was a lot of sympathy because you listed all these wildfires, and yes, it happened. You can't. I mean, yeah, we're on the conservative side. Say, well, it's just the way. Let's look at the policy of Governor Newsom, who did not have water in those fire hydrants.
No, I understand.
So that's a policy issue.
I understand
that we're
that
talking
entirely.
to. Okay,
Newsom was more interested in saving some
the fish
and
there,
then
or something.
and then plus also his policy is it was limited water that the people in California could use. So that's a policy issue. We were critical on that.
I know it's a policy issue, but we're framing that as a win over one side and not a loss for those people.
Okay.
See what we're doing
but
right
now what you're seeing, people are just being so
direct
hateful.
hate. Yeah, I understand.
Direct hate.
Oh, I do understand
that these people deserve to die because they voted for Donald Trump. These people deserve to have that families being divided. Don't go out there and rescue them. Some blue state don't want to send first aid help. I mean, this is ridiculous.
No, I agree with you. I'm not saying you're wrong. But I'm speaking more so to the divisiveness of it.
Okay.
The polarization of our country right now.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna ask Miss Maggie. She's an angel. She's out there giving food, so I don't know if she.
She's a peacemaker.
She's a peacemaker. I do want to get her opinion. And somebody just one of her great staff just walked in also here. Ronnie? Rudy? What's up, Rudy? Rudy, since you're the technical guru, I just told Miss Maggie we have 3 weeks for the gala. So please go ahead and do a video for the gala. Go to the place, the location, do a nice 60-second video so we could start posting that so people could see the location, the place.
Indeed.
And then so we could fire it up for that gala. So I know you're the man that's gonna take care of that.
Yeah,
all right,
Rudy, you have my table?
Yes.
Okay. All right then. Okay.
What kind of food we're gonna have, Rudy?
As far as I know, I think that might be the chef here.
Who's the chef?
You know,
oh, you got to come to the no. She's the chef.
Yeah.
Nah,
she's the chef.
She's the chef. You gonna be cooking?
Yes, sir.
All right, come on. You gotta push the mic. Come on. Give us some spot. Oh, so we're gonna have a little mix of Haitian food,
yes,
American food.
American food.
Go ahead. Talk
It's
to me.
mixed. It's mixed Haitian American food.
So you're gonna have all that jiggy John,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How
pasta,
do you know? Yes.
turkey. You're making me hungry right now.
You know the menu, eh? Yeah. You have the menu.
So you're the chef.
Yes, I am.
That's gonna make sure that you're gonna cook good.
Yes.
So, well, talk to people. Time to show it up.
I want everybody showed up because it's gonna be a lot.
Who taught you how to cook?
My mom.
Good teacher.
So your mom taught you how to cook?
Yes, sir.
That's lovely. Okay, so give us some of the stuff that's going through the menu so you can start teasing these people.
You want me to give the
Go
menu?
ahead. Yeah. You got to be here for something. You don't got to give the whole thing out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We got black and salmon.
Oh, good.
We have turkey, like you said.
Yeah.
We have chicken.
Ah, chicken.
Haitian macaroni.
Oh, Lord.
Haitian macaroni.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
I'm not gonna say no more.
No more. No, they got to come. We can't give you a lot.
And we
Like I
have
said,
cooked meat.
this is a special gala to
Cooked meat?
raise.
Cooked meat, yeah.
Oh,
Cut me.
good.
Cut me?
Yes.
You know what that do to guys? You didn't know I was wild, did you?
No, I know.
Man. You know, and this is for a good cause for the Daily Bread Distribution Center. And this is our first gala. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. So, and there's going to be some American food and some Haitian food. And we got the chef here. So I want everybody to support this wonderful lady. She helped out a lot of people in this community for over 20 years. That was her daughter on the phone, on the mic. It's going to be the main cook. And got Rudy here as a technical techie. He's going to talk a little bit. But it is no further ado. It's my pleasure to speak to Miss Maggie and let her talk to you for a few minutes. Go ahead.
Well, thank you. I'm so glad to be here once again to promote the gala that we're doing, the fundraising gala that we're doing on August 9th. We hope that everyone will show up because it's going to be amazing. We want to celebrate the 25 years of impact that we've had, and the next 25 years of impact that we will be having by God's grace. We want to celebrate the community, the leaders, our volunteers. We want everyone to come out and celebrate with us because this is very important to us. As you know, we are overloaded with food. So we need a place where we can share, a better place, a bigger place where we can share the food from. So we're hoping that the community will come out again and support at whatever capacity that they can.
Miss Maggie, tell the people what you do in the community because this is not for you. It's for them.
Right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I want your organization, the majority of churches, a lot of black churches in this area that you help, and hopefully they could come out. And you should be able to go to these churches at least to see how much ticket they can sell for you. This is the time that you need them so you could keep this foundation going. Go ahead.
Right. So what we do is we don't just do food. Food is just a handshake to bring people in. So it doesn't matter what they're going through. Like I said last week or the last time I was here, it's just a way to bring them in to serve them where they need help at. So some people will come to us, because of the food, but we find out that they need diapers, that they need help with their rent, that they need this, that they need that. So with the food, they're able to come in and we're able to provide them with the resources that they need, whether through us, through our community store that we have. It's a store where people come shop with points, with voucher points, and not with money, right? So our store is kind of like a Walmart where everything that they need is right there on site. That's one of the things that we do. We also provide education because even though we can feed people for a day, we can't feed them forever. So with education, we help them to feed themselves. And through our community partners, those that do free weddings, free funerals, and whatever, we have 30 partner organizations with us that helps out. So whatever the need is, if we don't have the answer, we strive to get the answer for them. So that's what we do in the community. We help churches to grow, because if a church is in existence and cannot provide resources to their members besides prayer is good, but sometimes you gotta have the physical, the tangible items to help your congregants. So that's what we're here for, to help churches to grow by helping their congregants, to help communities to thrive. That's our goal. It's been our goal for the past 25 years and will continue to be for the next 25 years.
Okay. Woody, you want to go ahead and step on the mic there? I'll trade the seat with you. Since you're the technical guru.
Oh man, no, far from that. Far from that.
Go ahead.
Yes, no. I mean, as Miss Maggie stated, DBDC have been around for over 25 years and supporting Central Florida families. I mean, like we said last time, serving over 8 different counties in Central Florida. But it's still somewhat an infant as far as the impact that's left to be made, because things are getting tougher. Things are tougher for families. So the food, as she says, is a good intro to actually help feed the belly and then help with other resources. But of course, we need systems and we need money. So we working on systems to getting our messaging out, but at the same time, money is still a tool that we need to make things happen. We looking for freezers. We're looking for trucks. We're looking for forklifts. We need a new warehouse because right now we don't have space to store food, so that limits us as far as how much we could do. But still, we able to deliver over 1.4 million pounds of food on a monthly basis through our partners that help us reach those families. So our gala, again, it's not just a day of partying, a day to celebrate. It will be a day of fundraising to actually help with a lot of these causes and a lot of these projects that we have lined up. We've been good stewards of providing for the communities who want to continue being so for the next 25 years.
Give the number, Rudy. What's the number available for you guys? They could contact you about the ticket information, the address.
Indeed. You could reach directly 407-730-7966. That's 407-730-7966. You can call or text, or you could visit our website at dailybreaddc.org. And all the details, information, if you want to volunteer, if you want to pick up food on a specific Wednesday, you could enter what Wednesday you're available to come. We'll register you. If you are looking to partner with us, you're an organization, you want to partner with us, we can partner with you. If you are another nonprofit, 501c3, we could take you on as a potential partner where you pick up food from us and deliver it back to your own community. So I think that's a very powerful resource as a new nonprofit. A lot of new nonprofits, looking for an initial cause. This could be it for you to help with food insecurity in Central Florida. And also, if you have a business, if you are a medical office, if you are an attorney's office, insurance office, any business that have a lot of foot traffic, and you want to do something for the community, an on-site food distribution could be the key. Because we would come with the food, you provide the space, and then we feed your constituents, your potential clients, and then that would be also a good way for you to show in-kind donation to your community, to the people you serve, not just providing your service, but you also providing some food as far as food insecurity goes in this region.
And you could follow your page.
Yes, you can follow us. We are Daily Bread Distribution Center. We actually on live now. So, this is not something Miss Maggie's used to, but I've been on board with Miss Maggie this is my 4th week. So there's a lot of new stuff that she's expending her wings to doing. So, you probably see her more with her Facebook Reels, or now she's on live for the first time. So, please follow our page and encourage this work, share it. We're here to serve.
Rudy, going back to the gala, are there any speakers you're having? And if you are having some speakers, who are they? And also talk about that music that we talked about last time, because
Yes, sir.
I want to have a good time.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We know that's important. So that evening, actually, we've just confirmed towards the end of last week that Commissioner George Oliver will be our keynote speaker. So the Ocoee region, that's where he served. So he will be our keynote speaker. We will have an MC by the name of Junior Success. He's a young Haitian gentleman who's pretty popular in the online as far as, so he'll be our MC. He's a comedian, so he'll have a set. In addition, we have George Franco, all the way from Atlanta, who will be our co-host for the evening, and he'll also help us lead a lot of our fundraising activities and auctions and so on. As far as music is concerned, we're finalizing that. So currently we have a DJ, but we're finalizing with the band. So we'll let it be known once we finalize that.
Your organization is local, but do you extend any interest or concern to what's taking place in Haiti now? I mean, now you have about 1.5 million people who are starving right now in Haiti. So are you going to bring any attention to the local community of what's taking place on the island?
Correct. So, I mean, I know the answer that Miss Maggie will give, but I'll briefly mention that before I pass it to her. We are not a political organization, but yes, we do see the plight of our fellow Haitian brothers and sisters, and but our focus is food insecurity in this region. So we know a lot of those same Haitians. A lot of them are part of the TPS program and the last Biden program that are here in this region. And with the changes that are happening with immigration rules and so on, a lot of them are affected. But yet, still, they're still hungry. So we don't really look at political affiliation. If you come for food, we don't ask for citizenship status. We just provide the food. So something to add to that, Ms. Maggie?
Amania, you have a question?
No, I don't have any questions at this time, but you've been very informative with everything that you're presenting. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And would you give the address one more time and the phone number?
Yes. So our phone number again, 407-730-7966. And for our food distributions, it normally happens the first and third Wednesdays. And some off weeks, like yesterday, we were supposed to be off, but we still had a food distribution with lines around the corner. We serve about 190 families, was it?
192.
192, delivered about 38,000 pounds of food. I think it was 32 or 38,000 pounds of food. So so on Wednesdays, when our food distributions are happening, it's always at our headquarters at 2532 Silver Star Road, Orlando, Florida, 32804. Yep, that's it.
And
32804.
that's at the Ocoee, was it City Hall? By City Hall?
Right. It's
Yeah,
at 125, actually.
The banquet hall at
Or Lakeshore.
Lakeshore.
Yeah,
Lakeshore?
it's 125.
Yeah, 125
North Lakeshore.
Lakeshore.
Okay. Ms. Maggie, let me ask you a question. Since we already brought it up, there's a lot of Asians being impacted. It's not working. How do you see a volume of increasing now? People come to your organization and ask for help because a lot of them now is not working. And how do you keep up with demand?
Well, the reality is that a lot of people are afraid to come out.
Why?
Because of what's happening. You have churches
So
being raided.
they're afraid to
and
come out
they're afraid
to get some food?
Yes.
Are you
We're not
speaking?
doing a good job.
They're afraid to
Because
come
it's
out.
just the fact that it's just so much negativity out there. It's just I felt like this is crazy. Somebody's afraid to come out to a food distribution.
We've been
center.
raided. So I'll leave that there.
Oh, I see.
Wow.
I see.
Yeah, so I'll leave that there. But yeah, they're afraid to come out. So the best thing is for us is we have volunteers that actually goes and do deliveries. Because again, hunger shouldn't have anything to do with your status. Wherever you are, if you're hungry and we're able to help, we're gonna help. That's what we do. Yeah.
Okay. How do you see some of your like Walmart places, companies you get food with? Do you have they have a large volume of food now is being dispersed to your organization, or do you see any
There,
shortage?
there's an increase.
There's
There's
an
an increase, and it's because we're asking. We're asking because the community, there's more need in the community. So there's an increase from our ask. But I tell you, it's getting to the point where things are gonna keep getting more expensive, right? So the increase is gonna keep increasing, and at our point, it's like, what do you do when you don't have the warehouse, the storage of food? You're doing weekly distribution. We can't touch everybody, but we touch as many as we can.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's wonderful to
Very
know
good.
that. All right, go ahead and final note, Rudy.
Yes, well,
Yeah.
on a final note, please visit our website, dailybreaddc.org. Contact us, 407-730-7966. And you could come on any given Wednesday, every other Wednesday, every first and third Wednesdays for free food to the public at 2532 Silver Star Road, Orlando, Florida, 32804.
All right, Miss Maggie.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you again, Roy, for this opportunity. And we want to thank everyone in advance that's going to come out to support. Again, it's not just a gala, it's a fundraiser. So you're helping our community also just by participating, just by coming out. So you may not be able to volunteer, but just coming out and, with your support, buying a ticket helps us to keep on going. So thank you in advance.
And the difference between these small organizations compare if you're supporting United Way, if you're supporting Goodwill, you don't get Haitian food.
That's true.
So that is a difference. So for me to live in this community and very proud of her organization and see the work that she's doing, taking it from her parents, and she also has a daughter who's going to be the cook. And Rudy is here, is helping out tremendously, help her organization grow with the goodness of his heart, and so many of other in the area. And we do impact it in this community with a lot of Haitian immigrant who, I'm sorry to hear that your foundation has been raided, but that is something I'm trying to get attention to, and I'll talk to you about that later. So if this is continue, who do we write? Contact some of our senators and find out. Now we do have people is being impacted to come get food. So we don't want to be at this point in America. So
I'm
we gotta
sorry.
get the message out for people to comfortable to get the food, and that's the reason why this special gala day. I bear with you, any organization in Central Florida. This lady, she is wonderful. She's a wonderful person, and the whole family been doing this over 20 years, and this is a time in need. Okay, like I said, any other gala around here, any things they're raising, you guys do not get this Haitian food, and it's gonna be wonderful food.
We
And keep
gotta,
that in mind.
we gotta have a little halal Haitian food.
Halal.
Yes,
Yeah,
throw some
yeah.
halal, yes, throw
So
some
my
halal meat in
community
there.
is going to be there. We don't even know.
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
Yeah, so
no,
make
no.
sure you have a little
We'll make
halal.
sure- yes,
Yes,
indeed,
definitely.
indeed. We'll make sure of that.
I wanted to just
Thank
understand something that you said, Voy. Did you just say that her facilities have been raided? Is that what you were
Yes,
saying?
yes.
Yes.
Can you elaborate a little? Because I'm
She just, I don't
She
know if
just
she
did.
wants to further
Oh.
elaborate on it.
Yeah, I'd
That's-
rather not.
Oh, if she rather not, I guess she'll talk to you about it off the air.
okay.
Okay.
All right, because I wasn't sure because you said it and I was like, "What? Did I hear that
Yeah,
correctly?"
the way she said it, I was assuming that she didn't want to go any
Okay.
further with it. So,
Yeah.
but you go
Understood.
ahead, you feel free and talk to her privately about it. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Jeff. Let's take a little short break. We'll be right back.
Very good. The Haitian community.
Sometimes we win, sometimes we try to fit it all in. Sometimes Sometimes we don't know what's in store. Sometimes we find what we're looking for. Sometimes we're rolling easy and free. Sometimes 1 and 1 makes 3. So much to love along this ride. That's why Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Mutual. Joshua Giles Ministries presents Maxell Conference 2025, July 9th through the 12th at the Kia Center in Orlando, Florida, featuring Apostle Joshua Giles.
I want a church that is cleaned out, not a mix of your flesh. He said, what I'm dropping in this season is new wine.
Bishop Tudor Bismarck.
The devil is a liar, and so is his mother-in-law. I'm coming now in the power of the Spirit.
Pastor Cheryl Brady.
The more he blesses you, the more you ought to say, hide me.
Pastor John F. Hanna.
When you call me, you ain't even got to tell me what you need, because I know what you have need of before you even ask me.
Pastor T. Renee Glenn. Bishop Jackie McCullough. Pastor Jonathan Y.B.J. Miller. Pastor Ty Tribbett. Naomi Rain. Chandler Moore. And so many more. Seats are filling fast. Register today at mantle.org or joshuagiles.com.
Hey family, it's your girl Lady Drina. That's right, this is Lady Drina and I am back. I'm inviting you to tune in and join in each and every Monday through Friday with It's Morning's Live Drive right here on Inspiration 1680 100.7 FM, the heart and soul of the community.
Join Pastor Mitchell and Lady Carol Steele with the Hour of Power, saving the world one scripture at a time every Friday afternoon at 4 p.m. right here on Inspiration 1680 AM and 100.7 FM.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Natasha Cruz, your family nurse practitioner. I run a med spa here in Metro West at 6996 Piazza Grande Ave in Orlando, Florida. We specialize in aesthetic medicine. We have lasers that are safe on all skin types. So if you're looking for laser hair removal, melasma treatment, Botox, or fillers, give us a call, 407-405-6074. Again, the number to reach me is at 407-405-6074. Talk to you soon.
Sunday School Family Fun Day. Free admission for the whole family. Hosted by Rhythm and Spice at Zen Tavern. Sunday, July 13th, 2 p.m. at 5406 Hansel Avenue. Enjoy the vibes with friends and family. This is a Sunday you won't want to miss. Chase your beats today.
Listening to Inspiration 1680 AM, WOKB Winter Garden, W2640F 100.7 FM Kissimmee, and around the world at WOKBradio.com. Inspiration 1680 AM and 100.7 FM Kissimmee.
It's Sybil Wilkes with what we need to know. Carla Hayden, the former Librarian of Congress abruptly fired by President Donald Trump 2 months ago, has a new position with the country's largest philanthropic supporter of the arts, the Andrew W. Mellon Foundation. They told the media that Carla Hayden is joining the humanities grantmaker as a senior fellow whose duties will include advising on efforts to advance public knowledge through libraries and archives. As job seekers look for work in a challenging environment, an increasing number are falling victim to job scams that promise good pay for completing easy online tasks. That, according to the Federal Trade Commission. The scams start innocuously enough, often with a tailor-made text or WhatsApp message, and the scammers take time to build trust with the victim before cashing in on that relationship. Job seeker, beware. I'm Sybil Wilkes. Be informed, be empowered.
AURN News.
I'm Ebony McMorris. The Trump administration has just slapped sanctions on UN investigator Francesca Albanese, the woman tasked with documenting human rights abuses in Gaza. According to the Associated Press, this move marks the latest efforts by the U.S. to punish critics of Israel's 21-month-long war in Palestinian territories. Albanese has been outspoken about what she calls violations of international law. The U.S. previously tried and failed to pressure the United Nations into removing her. Now, instead of silencing her diplomatically, the the administration is doing it economically. It's not clear yet what the sanctions mean in practice. Will she be blocked from entering the U.S.? Will it freeze assets? Even that's still murky, but what is clear, the move comes the same week as Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is in Washington for high-level talks with President Trump about the war. Critics say it's about shutting down accountability. Supporters claim it's about standing with Israel. For AURN
The views
News,
and
I'm
opinions
Ebony
of the following
Morris.
program is not necessarily those of W.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you for the second hour of our show. Well, I'm gonna be like a torpedo because we got so much topic we got to cover. And once again, shout out to Daily Bread Distribution Center for coming in the house. Shout out to Miss Maggie Rody. Please support that event, that gala that's gonna be Saturday, August the 9th, from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. And the address is gonna be 125 North Lake Shore. That's at the Ocoee, next to the City Hall. And please contact Miss Maggie at 407-285-1108, 407-285-1108. She's a wonderful lady. Like I said, whenever a Haitian organization throwing a gala, expect some good food. So this is something to look forward to. Let's get to a couple hot topic. What's going on around the country? Earlier, before we started the show, we said our heart goes out to the people of Texas and how social media. Viber is going to talk about just a little bit when we get back how social media is impacted by negative view and hate. So, to me, I'm shocked. Some of the things I'm listening, even some of the people in the prominent legacy media. Couple things that break out this week. The RS say church can endorse political candidate without losing tax exempt stature.
Hi.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I never got to just say my 2 cents on the conversation earlier in reference to the fires and what was happening in California.
Okay. Go ahead. So yeah.
So what I just wanted to add to that, so there are man-made disasters and then there's, natural disasters. And what we've seen in California, this is actually, when you look at it, these things could really be portrayed as man-made because, again, the shortage of the water, they were feeding fish as opposed to feeding where the water was needed. So this was something that really could have been avoided, at least the amount of damage that we saw. And another thing I would like to add to that is we have seen multiple natural disasters that happened. For example, we had that train wreck in Palestine where, the left, once again, they were, laughing, making fun. Not even Joe Biden showed up to look at that situation, and those people were devastated, lost so much. And again, the left was out here making fun and reveling in it, in people's miseries. So this is not the first time that they've done that. They constantly do it over and over again. And we really do need to figure out a way, because it's really inhumane at this point. And it's just unacceptable. So that's what I wanted to throw in reference to that.
Okay. And also North Carolina, but I didn't see that much. I guess that was during the campaign. Everybody, they needed to vote. But this natural disaster in Texas, like you say, Sister Warrior, the level of hate is it really it's an ugly situation, and something I never seen before. I didn't expect that at all. This week the IRS say church can endorse political candidate without losing tax exempt stature, which is their 501c3. Dr. White, Sister Warrior, so that means the black church now is gonna be the true pimp of the Democratic Party. The black church, they're gonna be on steroid right now with that kind of endorsement. Now they know they're not going to lose their 501, their tax exempt statute. So the campaign now is going to be extremely vicious on some of the black churches in America. I guess that opened door for other denomination to have candidate campaign and on a full swing campaign now, as we see.
Well, the church, I mean, the church like the African Methodist Episcopal Church, African Methodist Zion Church, Southern Baptist, and so forth, they've been doing this for a long time. Now it's just openly that they can endorse a candidate and openly say, well, we can still keep our nonprofit status. But they've been doing this. The bigger issue is that now, as you just alluded to, it opens the door for other organizations. All right, we have a number of religious organizations that are right of center now, and now they can begin to endorse openly the candidates that best suits the interests of their constituents. So I think it's a good thing. I mean, you have Muslim groups can now do it. You have
because I guess
so
certain
forth.
group was kind of like, well, I don't want to lose my taxes or be a target.
Yeah, so this takes off the handcuffs because the liberal groups, like the churches that I just mentioned, they were doing it in the open, and the other groups were kind of frightened to do it because they were oftentimes being attacked. So I think it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Everybody has a level playing field on that one.
Sister Oya?
Well, I'm in agreement with you, Issa White, because I believe that, yes, it has been going on. I mean, we've seen the political landscape, Kamala Harris all up in the church, Jamal Bryant's church. They're at every church event. Joe Biden, everybody's at the churches, but yet nobody's getting in trouble for that. So yes, now they've always been doing it. They've always done it. So now it gives the other side, or we on the other side, an opportunity, because yes, we would get in trouble if a conservative church tried to do that. They get blackballed, they get in trouble. But now I would say this is a great opportunity for those more right-leaning churches would be able to say, okay, we can play ball now. We can really rev up our constituents and really talk about these things that before were being said quietly. So I'm in agreement that this thing could be good for us to really step it up. Those people who are really for truly good, really for Jesus Christ. That's just.
But at the same time, you also have some of these conservative pastors. There's only a few who was out there preaching. Now this thing's going to be open now, so they could go ahead and have a level playing field.
Yeah.
To go ahead and have a conservative candidate to campaign. Also, some of the conservative churches to campaign.
Yeah.
Because now, can you imagine now how 2026 is going to look like?
Yeah, it's the church is the new playground. The church is the rally house. That's how it's happening.
I was just saying it was going to look very interesting, the political landscape in the next few years. I would ask, though.
Mm-hmm.
So we understand that the churches have been campaigning for candidates for a long time, especially on the left. Do you think that they ever should have been to begin with? Do you think churches, masjids, etc., should campaign for candidates?
Well, let me remind you of something. There is a thing called separation.
Yeah.
Church and state.
The church and state.
The establishment clause in the Constitution.
Exactly.
Yes.
So that's why I'm referring to that. Now with this decision of the IRS, that's changed. But yes, they were always doing it, but there was always a skepticism of what's going on. But now, I guess, is open to every denomination to have, candidate to campaign freely. Like I say, some of these radical pastors, some of these socialist radical pastors, they've been doing it.
Yeah.
But there was some concern. I remember a couple of years ago, some of the Southern Black Baptist Church, we want to kind of get away from that. But we see the election of Kamala, and it was on steroid again. So now you will the Muslim community and the Haitian community. That's one thing also in the Haitian community. Some of it, they kind of like, well, we don't want to deal with that. But now I guess, we'll just have some candidate to come and speak, but they not fully endorse some of the candidate, and also some of the conservative churches. They'll have the candidate come in and speak, but not fully endorse. But now you're gonna see some serious changes.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so like I said, get Dr. White, get ready, Sister White, get ready, because this is gonna be fun
It's gonna
for
rock and roll, like Little Bishop would say.
So you guys need to find you some churches and where they're gonna. But you see also the money campaign that's gonna be in these churches now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, yeah.
But it's gonna be a little bit different
because some churches, they're not gonna go out for you if you don't have the money to bring you in.
Yeah. But I think what's gonna take place this time is that, many of the churches that we looked upon for so many years as being left of center, now they're more in the middle. I mean, we're seeing many ministers now pushing an agenda that's a little bit different than the liberal agenda that they pushed yesterday. We're seeing this trajectory taking place. So what we thought was last time is going to be a little bit different this time, I believe.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of visualizing the collection plate going around as fundraising.
No, I don't think it's gonna be collection plate. I think this church is gonna go. You got to give me $50,000. You got to give me $100,000.
Oh, that's the angle we're coming from.
$50 and $25 for the minister.
I think Kamala Harris, the church in Atlanta, I think you get like $100,000 or something.
Jamal Bryant's church.
Yeah.
So these black pastors, they're gonna go out there. They're gonna be the real pimps out there.
And here I thought they were going to be passing the collection plate to help out the candidate.
You had seen the Biden when he was at a church and he acted like he was afraid. I think you brought that up. I didn't know what to do.
Biden was comatose. What are you talking about? He was comatose. I mean,
well, he grabbed the money in his pocket. Where do I put it? Where did I put it? I thought he grew up in a black church.
Remember when Trump went to church, he pulled out a wad, remember? And put it in the collection plate.
And now we're going to see more of that feedback loop of churches supporting a certain candidate, and then they're getting a lot more back, which is just going to encourage them to support.
So I guess that's done, Dr. White. Separation of state and
right.
It was always an illusion.
Okay,
it was just an illusion. All right. I mean, the politics and the church has always been close. I mean, we have had a minister in the White House advising the presidents from FDR onward, telling him what to do, how to do it, directing foreign policy. It's always been the case.
So now I'm going to be very interested to see how that works for smaller denominations. Because right now, I would say the largest religious denomination is Christianity in the United States, or Catholicism. So how's that going to look for people who practice Islam or Judaism if they can't get a candidate that they're rooting for into office?
Yeah, that goes. Go ahead.
It's interesting because politics and the church have always been hand in hand. Black Robe Regiment. This is how the country was built. It was the men that were in the front lines. They had a black robe, and under that, they had their army ready to go and fight. So it's always been there. Church, state, like you said, it's an illusion. It's always been there. But now this is going to take it to a whole new level in reference to, what people are going to do. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, the next great profession is to be a hustling minister, right?
Absolutely. I'm in the wrong business.
Yeah, you're on the wrong
I'm on the wrong business. Sister Hoya, you're in the wrong business.
Yeah.
Jeff, you're in the wrong business. Let's roll, man. But a couple breaking notes. President Trump called out for the end of property taxes across the United States. This is big. There should be no property taxes for the entire United States on every state. We should push that agenda. That's his next, I guess. Ron DeSantis really
Yeah.
had an impact for Florida, no property taxes. Nothing is that we're gonna go fast here real quick. The FBI reportedly opened a criminal investigation into former CIA John Brennan and former director of the FBI James Comey over the Russia Gate probe that he lied, and this thing was fabricated by Hillary Clinton, and that's a movement that today the Department of Justice, so they are under investigation for the Russia Gate, trying to blame Donald Trump for the things that they fabricate. One of the big story this week,
let's revisit that a second. I mean, I understand why this is taking place, what they did to Donald Trump, and the whole political process was a shame. However, to spend time and maybe to even waste money on something like that, unless they are really going to persecute someone, I think the country have bigger issues to deal with right now. I mean, I understand that what they did, Hillary and all that, they did terrible things. They lied. They created a mass hysteria that wasn't needed. But to spend time and money on it, I think we can do better.
But Dr. White, somebody got to be held accountable for this.
Surely.
If this is going to keep continuing, it's not just because it happened to a Republican candidate, but what about if Donald Trump is in power, the next candidate for the presidency, he's doing the same thing too. So where that's going to stop? So somebody needs to be held accountable.
I wonder, could that be done at the state level? All right.
Well, it didn't happen at the state. The John Brennan was the CIA, and Comey was the director of the FBI.
But they reside in the state. I wonder, could it happen there? I mean, could it?
Well, it happened at the federal level, and like I say, I think these guys, for the damage that they did to this country, appointed the special prosecutor Mueller. That was a lot of money wasting, and they know what they did, and it's not, and the persecution can continue in Georgia, in New York. I mean, when is going to stop?
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, I'm in agreement, Voy. I think we need to really hold these people accountable for what they have done. I mean, when we look at what the FBI, how they did, school board moms, school board grandmas, the FBI these people need to be held accountable for what they've done. And if there's an investigation that needs to happen, and I'm in agreement with that, they need to be looked at.
Yeah, absolutely.
Makes sense.
One of the also breaking news this week is the fact that Dr. White, you travel a lot. The TSA is suspending remove of shoes at the airport.
Thank God. I am tired of taking my shoes
You
off.
travel a lot too?
I travel.
Oh, yeah, so let me
go ahead and take it.
Go ahead.
And I don't mind having to remove my shoes whenever I go to whenever I go on a plane, right? Because it's a safety precaution. And if I have to be a little bit more inconvenienced to be safe, then I'd rather that than somebody slips a plastic gun in their shoe and then takes it off on the plane.
I don't know, but some areas that you go to, some other countries, you don't have to do it. I mean, it's an inconvenience.
Well, that's because the reason why we set those precautions in place is because of what happened in our country in the past.
It was a shoe bomber out of Michigan.
What happened?
9/11.
9/11 and the shoe bomber.
Yeah, the shoe bomber. Yeah.
The shoe
So that's
bomber.
why we set those in place.
What's the name of that skit, that comedy show years ago where the guy had contraptions in his shoes? What is it? I Spy or something? All right. So we have to look out for shoe bombs, huh?
It's possible.
But to me, I don't know if they upgrade. They're not telling us they upgrade the machine, just like the machine scan the hole, just like it's like an MRI.
That's right.
And I think that's the reason why they're not telling us. But just reading some of the blog, I'm like Vibrant here. I read some of the stuff, so I think they upgrade the machine over at the TSA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but Dr. White, yeah, it's ridiculous. Whenever I travel, man, I just grab me a slippers because I don't have time. I'm always running. I'm always in a hurry.
You want to travel
Well,
so you can shoot.
I, for one, as a female, have to say I'm happy to hear that. I mean, you're right. With all of the technology, they should be able to scan you from head to toe without even doing anything. You got to take off your belt, your watch, everything, all of that. No, why? They have the technology. You walking straight through the thing, it should be able to detect everything without all of this extra.
Yeah.
All right. Another breaking news today. Joe Biden, doctor, testified in Congress on a closing door session. He pleaded the fifth.
14 times.
14 times. And also patient and client privilege. So what, Dr. White, what do you think? I mean, he pleaded the fifth. And now the chairman, James Comer, is he trying to give him immunity to testify? That's what's being talked now. Give him full immunity. Who was in control? Was the president giving too many drugs so he could not be in control of the auto pen? So there's things now that's being talked about. Was he aware? Or was he being drugged up all the time? Because we see how the vicious these Democrats are, and folks that was around him, they were not good people.
I mean, that is something where we should find out who did what and prosecute them to the full extent of the law. Because we had for 2.5 years, maybe 3 years, an absentee.
He was not in control.
All right.
He was not in control.
We don't know who was running the country. The country came close to a third world war. The economy was in shatters. The domestic issues were off the chain. We were running and living in a helter-skelter country. So that needs to be found out. Who did it, who was running the country, and who was drugging the guy up. Yes, he was drugged up. He was comatose most of the time. He's walking away, walking randomly. Don't know where he's going.
Right.
Where you going, Biden? I don't know.
Well, I would like to just real quick. So this is his doctor. So this doctor is working for we the people. That's how his salary is being paid. The government is paying that. We the people. That means this doctor doesn't work for Biden. This doctor works for us. And so therefore pleading the fifth with client privilege or whatever he is saying, that is BS. And we need answers. We need to know what's been going on, why it happened this way, and how long Biden was sick, and they never told us. All of these we need answers to all of these things.
They need to subpoena all
was he?
Subpoena everything. We said, Michael?
No, I was just agreeing with you.
Was he over medicated?
Of course he was.
Because the doctor's claiming patient and client privilege, WAPA. Law, so he cannot discuss anything.
You see those people on the street of Mali, just like in a zombie state,
like in La La Land.
That's Biden.
Biden. Aren't there records open to we the people, the public, being that you're president of the United States?
Well, should his record be sealed and be available to the committee?
No.
Especially
I don't
with
understand this.
Another thing, this whole thing, bringing people to Congress and having these, sessions where it's all BS. They give you this dog and pony show. Nothing gets confirmed out of it. No answers really comes out of it. This guy gave this answer 14 times that he's not going to answer. He's going to plead the fifth. So why are you even sitting in front of Congress if you're not even going to answer questions?
Yeah. I mean, the question is that you're asking who's running this bureaucracy? All right, it's bigger than Biden.
Right.
Who is really running this bureaucracy that we have? And the ones who are doing it, they're doing a terrible job because they're putting all of us at risk. So therefore, does he have any records as a person to hide? No, not when you're at that level.
Right.
It's all open to the American people and the world.
Right. Yes. Exactly.
Sister Warrior, And Robin, let me ask, this is for you.
Okay.
Elon Musk last week going for a third party. Okay, now the feud between him and Donald Trump is ugly. There's no comeback in this one. He need 2 senators. No, I'm sorry. Yes, 2 senators and 8 House representatives for the midterm, so he could create a chaos. Remember the week before he made the point that Donald Trump is on the list of Jeffrey Epstein. Yesterday, Pam Bondi and the administration, and that's the only audio I might play, where the question was asked during a conference, and President Trump come out, say, well, are we still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? When you look at the body language of the president, he was frustrated. I was not happy with his behavior at all. I think he should let Pam Bondi answer the question. This is the whole world was watching this. And for Kash Patel, the director of the FBI, and Dan Bongino, the deputy director, I watched Kash Patel and Dan Bongino when he had his show, and I have every clip on my phone. When Pam Bondi, if we have time, I could play the clip. Say, to me, I'm always, since Dr. White is a professor, the English language is very tricky. I always say this. When Pam Bondi said, we have the document, we have the dossier on my desk, I'm ready to release it. I guess, assuming she was ready to release the record. It's just, I remember when Bill Clinton said, I did not have sex with that woman. And what is the definition of sex? So what is the definition of releasing record? I'm trying to lower Ingram. Most of the conservative movement, some of them lower, think this is damaging Pam Bondi reputation. Others in the conservative think this is one of the, since it's early in the game, that could turn this administration around with the scandal. Now we learned today was Merrick Garland destroy some of the Epstein file? Why didn't the administration say that before? That's not justify what Pam Bondi said. I remember watching, we talk about it on the show, Kash Patel and Dan Bongino, when they had an interview, say Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide. Dr. White alluded to it. They wasn't telling the truth. So I'll start with you.
Yeah, I'll say that. So you said a lot of things. Let me go through this. So
I'm like a torpedo, man. Go ahead.
Yeah. So firstly, I think the whole quarrel, we'll go with that, between Trump and Elon Musk that's been going on for a couple weeks now, I think it's childish. I think that the way they're handling
I think it's personal now.
Yeah, I think the way they're handling it is childish, right? Because they're putting it all out there for everyone to see at all times. That's something that should be handled behind closed doors.
Well, I don't think Donald Trump handled it right.
Yeah.
I'm being honest with you. Trump should have just, Elon has every right to criticize the bill, the big,
that's fair.
Big Beautiful Act, because some of his law was not implemented in the bill. Donald Trump came back because of the EV subsidy that was not in the bill. That's why he was upset that he knew about it. I think Trump should just leave it like that. When you say, well, I'm going to deport you back to Africa, that angry Elon Musk a little bit more. And that's why you see a lot of Republican, a lot of conservative didn't even touch that. And Trump got bad advice. Yeah. He should not, continue with this. And then when Elon put out there, well, he's on the list of Jeffrey Epstein, and this thing come out a week later, it don't look good.
Yeah, that's like one of those arguments I would have like with my friends when I'm on call, right? I don't think that any of that should have happened the way it did. Now, as for the release of the Epstein files, right? I think they should be released. I don't see any reason why they haven't been released. I think it's a similar situation to other files that we have been asking to be released that they haven't. Them hiding the fact that certain files were destroyed in the Epstein case. I mean, I don't even know how that happened, right? And the fact that they're trying to keep this all under wraps, I just think it's bad taste.
I'm disappointed with the president as well as with Elon Musk. From day one, the liberals, the left, were working on plans to break up that base. All right, to cause disruption. Even from day one, they were alluding to the differences. Elon Musk is the president. They're doing these types of games. And their idea was to break up the base, which really means to break up the mega movement. And I'm sad to see that the president and Elon Musk has fallen into that. In fact, the cabinet has. All right. I agree with Vibert that if they had an issue, take it, among themselves in a back room. At least the mafia does that. They have enough sense. But these two great men who have done so much for the country and the world, now they're in, like Vibert says, a childish fight. Essentially, 3-4 weeks ago, I thought it was just a love fight. That's what I said on air. But in reality, is a petty fight that they allowed the outsiders to come in to break them up, and that really can mean the breakup of the mega movement, because now we're put in a position. Who do you side with? All right, and that's the only way the Democrats can win: divide and conquer, and they've done it.
Well, I'll just throw my 2 cents in there. I think it is definitely a childish fight at this point. And you're right, Issa, they were definitely pitting one against each other. President Elon, that this is what they were saying. And now there's a rift between that, and the rift is getting larger and larger as we go. And personally, I'm thinking, that Elon Musk, he is definitely on the verge of looking for, his feelings are hurt in reference to the EV and the bill. And, no bill is perfect. No bill is perfect. It's got some issues, but it's also got some good things for the American people. But for Elon now to go and say, okay, well, I'm going to create my own party and I'm going to have the America First Party. Right now, Elon Musk doesn't have the numbers to actually pull this thing off. And even if he got people like Never Trumpers,
you can't say that.
Even if he got people
I already seen that people that's coming aboard, and it's scary. Joe Scarborough.
Joe Scarborough?
No, not Joe Scarborough. He was the communication director for Donald Trump.
Well, I saw today. I saw an
the owner of Dallas. The owner of Dallas.
The basketball team.
Yeah.
He also. What's his name? He's a liberal guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he also on board.
Numbers just aren't there.
So all the people. Yeah.
But
the numbers are very low.
With another party, really. I mean, I think we need more parties in this country to give people a choice. But the motivation of it, how it came out now, I don't think it was really good. But again, my biggest issue goes to the fact that we allowed outsiders to break up our base, and that's what hurts.
Well,
and it's playing right to the Democrats' hand. Go ahead, Sister.
Absolutely, it is.
Yeah, and that's absolutely true. And I was thinking about a little bit of history with what happened with Ross Perot. Is it Ross Perot?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who, back then, 1992, was it? A third party? I mean, his numbers weren't great, but when you compare it, I saw the CNN poll today when you compare it, Elon Musk just doesn't have the juice that he think he has. Yeah, he may get a couple of millionaires, billionaires on his side, but he can never really shake the MAGA. He can get a couple of never Trumpers to get on board, but he will never have enough numbers to really make a really go of this party that he's creating. So again, I think he's just, throwing it out there, but he's not very politically savvy. I say he's a genius, yes, but there's some moves that I don't think Elon Musk is ready to do. And as far as Jeffrey Epstein and what they're doing, I think they are BSing us. And for 4 years, I've watched what gaslighting looks like. And when Caroline Levitt the other day, when she was asked about these Epstein cases, she pulled a Corinne Jean-Pierre. She pulled a gaslight. I was like, whoa, what? So she dodged the questions. And then the question was posed to Pam Bondi, and President Trump jumps in to give her time to think about it. And when she comes on,
but it makes Trump look bad.
Yeah. Anyway, it's not looking very good. And so I know people are always saying we don't criticize Trump. Well, right now, friends, we are definitely I have a lot to say in reference to this whole Epstein thing, and President Trump saying, "Oh, there's nothing to see here. We should be talking about something else. Why are we still talking about?"
He was brushing the question off. I mean,
yeah. I got questions about that, because my whole thing is there is a list, and they are protecting those people that's on the list. That's right. Wealthy, high-ranking politicians, kings, queens, who knows? Those people, those A-list people, that's who's on that list. And they don't want it out. But we, the American people, need to know this, because before Dan Bongino became the deputy director, before Kash Patel became that, everybody wanted to know what's with this list, what's happening, because again, these are crimes against children, right? And we cannot be protecting the elite when it comes to that. I don't care who, if it's Donald Trump, if it's Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, whoever, I want heads to roll. I want the list.
I mean, this list is long, it's hundreds. And so far, there's only one person whose name was really released, and I cannot remember his name, but he's a owner of a company in Iowa. I mean, when this list comes out, it's going to affect Florida. Remember, Jeffrey was from Florida. Remember, he abused hundreds of kids in Southern Florida. All right. Then you had a black lady who was investigating him in the Virgin Islands. She was an attorney. She mysteriously disappeared. All right. So the list is deep. It affects every phase of the government. It should be released. If it's nothing there, if he just took a ride, okay, fine, just a ride. But if he did something else, well, he should be prosecuted like anybody else.
Yeah.
Well, Sister Warrior, Dr. White, Amania, you cannot look at Ross Perot in 1992 compared today. I just want to remind you that.
I just wanted to show what the numbers, what a third party could really, you know what I'm saying?
Because you have enough haters out there to put a dent on the mega movement, and right now, we've been slapped. Okay.
Yeah.
We've been slapped. So we got to be honest with our audience. And people say we don't criticize, but we're going to criticize where we need to. Elon has enough money with $300 million to gather all the Trump haters and all the people who want to damage this great movement. Now, Donald Trump put out a thing last week. Well, Elon Musk got a smoking problem.
Yes, so and Trump like Big Macs.
So yeah, we know Elon Musk smokes weed. So let's be honest about this. He smoke. He say, when I smoke, I work better. So I'm not here to judge. So to that point, Trump didn't have to say that, but that just put gaslighting, put more fuel in the fire. After I'm going to deport you back to Africa. So, and I think Elon is not going to stop, because the people that's trying to surrounding him is going to fuel him more to go ahead hit Donald Trump. And like I said, if you do the calculation, there is 4 House representatives who voted against the bill in the House. Massey, and they all on board now with Elon, if you didn't know that. So if he get 8 representatives, that created chaos among Republicans, so we can't move bill, and that flipped the House to Democrat. So if you look at the Senate, this 2026, more Democrat is up for re-election. So if he get 2 senators on his side, so yeah, he could put a huge dip and put that money out there to get him elected. So we got to take him seriously. Okay?
Wow.
And Dr. White, on the other hand, when you look at the damage, even John Robert, the chief of the Supreme Court, his name was mentioned in the list. If we release that list, and you look at the royal family in England, also was in that list.
The prince, yes.
Okay?
Oprah was on the list too.
Oprah's in that list. But to me, if the Democrat had the opportunity during the persecution of Donald Trump, if his name was so damaging in there, I think they would have released it. The reason why they didn't release it, because they know some of their people is also in there that could damage the world of their reputation. Even sitting Dick Durbin, the minority whip out of Illinois, his name mentioned in that list. So you're talking about very powerful people. So let's play devil advocate here, Dr. White. If Pam Bundy had released that, how much damage of reputation could their life, their family, or should they release some part of it to say, well, this is what we have?
They should have released everything for the American people. I mean, these people, you have lawyers on the list, you have professors on the list, you have physicians, so many people. But like Sister Warrior stated, these people misuse children, all right? That means they stole their childhood. That means they stole their future. I mean, we haven't even talked about the children who were hurt and what have been done to help them. We have hundreds of victims out there. And we're talking about saving a few dirty old men and women and forgetting about these people?
Yeah.
No. There's a time that we have to have civility and decency and moral rightness. And I really don't give a damn if it hurts Trump or if it hurts Biden or hurts anyone. We have to protect our generation, our future. And again, those children that were used to the Virgin Islands, those children that were taken from Europe and taken to that island, those children who were transported from New York to Florida to the Virgin Islands, they have a right to say something. And that is, those crimes should be exposed and they should be persecuted, and those children should be saved because they're ruined. Because I'm going to tell it on the air. I had a sister, right? My sister Judith. My son and I found her in a trap house. She was gang raped, all right, at a young age. And she had never been right since. It destroyed her. And the same type of thing has happened to those children. And no one has said a mumbling word.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm with you on that. And just to let it be said here, as somebody who was abused as a child and experienced these things, yeah, I don't care how much money you have. I don't care what your status is. If you did these horrible things, you should be punished.
Absolutely.
You should be punished for getting your jollies off of children. No, we're not going to stand for it, whoever you are. If it's the prince, if it's Oprah, if it's Diddy, whoever it is, you need to be held accountable for your freakiness and your freaky, unmoral actions. And nobody should protect you. Nobody's above the law.
And if the evidence was not so damaging, why do they go so to the extent this guy was in jail? Kill himself?
Yeah, everybody knows he kills himself.
And what is that?
I mean, if the evidence was not so damaging, why did they go and they had a guard who fall asleep and the camera was not working? Can
and what
Robert, can you explain that? You're an engineer, man. You got a great mind.
I have no idea. I mean, what does that say about our government that they're so willing to defend these people? Our government that's supposed to stand for the people, that they don't care about the victims. They won't even release the perpetrators.
Yeah, they're being protected. The perpetrator is the ones being protected. What about the victims? What about them?
But I think it's always been like this. It was an illusion that we have about our government. The powerful always going to protect the powerful. In that case, I hate to say it was this administration who dropped the ball.
Well, this administration needs to show we the people who voted what they promised to do things differently, to drain the swamp in every capacity, to cut off their tentacles, cut off their head, and let it be done. And Sister Warrior done said it. Let it be done.
Let it be done.
Go ahead.
Robert, I know you have some note, but the final point I'm going to make here, the Secret Service, Saturday is going to be the anniversary when the Butler, Pennsylvania, the assassination of President Trump, 6 Secret Service agent is now suspended for that. Okay?
Sure, handle it.
So, Saturday, July 13th.
Well, I think what's so interesting about that is that we still don't know Thomas Crooks.
No idea.
Right? We don't know how he got money and put it on in an offshore account. There's too many questions. Did you know today a guy threatened the life of the president again from Rhode Island? Says that he is going to kill him.
Yeah, that's
kill the vice president.
Yeah.
I mean, so there is too much cover up. All right, and we live in an altered state country now, a country that tells us up front that it's corrupt. We kill when we want to kill, and we're going to tell you in front of your face, that when the person dies, that they didn't die. Go ahead, Viper.
Oh, on this?
Whatever.
Well, anything with notes you had, I know.
Oh, you got a lot of notes there.
Yeah, so you did talk about earlier about Trump wanting to remove property taxes. And then we also heard recently that he took in roughly, $300 billion in tariffs?
In tariff, yeah. That's a good news.
Yeah, that is very good news. Yeah, if you look at, I think that's him making good on his campaign promises. If you look at the...
But back for a minute. You think the president has the power to convince 50 governors, especially blue state, to get rid of property taxes?
Oh, no. I don't think that he has the power to convince them. But I'm talking about...
because that's going to have to go to the state.
Yeah, it is. But I'm talking about the intention behind it.
Okay.
As well as the bill that we saw got passed last week. I mean, there was a lot of controversy about that bill, roughly when it came to Medicaid. But if you look at the other parts of that bill, right, like the deduction for workers, it added $25,000 in deductibles for tips, right? So if you make $25,000 up to $25,000 off of tips, you can deduct all of that, right? Well, to an extent, as well as like $12,500 off of overtime pay. And then on top of what he's adding in for taxes off of property taxes, I think he's working towards trying to reestablish the middle class, the working class. And I think that despite the cuts to Medicaid, because we're seeing around, within the next 10 years, around $800 billion of cuts off of Medicaid, as well as the SNAP program in the next 10 years, we're seeing roughly $300 billion off of the SNAP program food stamps coming from the federal government, as states he's encouraging states to cover those rather than the federal government.
To the point that you mentioned, the bill, and the Democrat, they're going to take off with this. And Amania, Dr. White, and your guys have to be able to get prepared and be ready for this.
Right.
Vibrant, when you're talking about the $800 in Medicaid cut, okay, and the SNAP program, I see Maxell Frost is having a town hall tomorrow. And that's the vision right now. The Democrat for 2026, Donald Trump cut Medicaid, which is $1.4 million for illegals that was in Medicaid.
Yeah.
Okay. Even the CBO agree with that, because I see the exchange in CNN and their face was hot there. For the able-bodied work, that's part of the Medicare. You cannot be in Medicaid or Medicare. You have to work 80 hours a month.
Yes.
Okay, you have to be an able-bodied. Explain that to people, because this is how the Democrat, they're gonna turn this around. They're gonna. I mean, I'm already seeing this. What's going out the country. Okay, like I said, Maxell Frost is having a town hall tomorrow, and that's gonna be his thing. So that Republican cut Medicaid and food for the poor, they're gonna be emotional. So if you don't have the facts right, go ahead. I'll let you.
Okay, so when it comes to the SNAP program, which is the food stamps, he didn't directly cut that program.
No. What
he's doing is that he is putting more pressure on the states to make up for what the federal government was spending. And on top of that, the amount that people are going to be getting, it's currently recalculated every 5 years, and it's not adjusted correctly to inflation. Instead, it's going to be recalculated every 3 years, and it's going to be indexed to inflation and updated with nutritional guidelines and balance. Therefore, people will be able to get, depending on how inflation affects it, people will be getting more. However, the states will be covering that cost. But additionally, because it's now being put more so on the states than the federal government, we're going to be in a situation where, depending on the state's funding for that program, people may be less eligibility may decrease for certain people. So that's going to be covered more so with the states. It's hard to say exactly where that's going. Now, as for Medicaid, that one is being reduced. Roughly over the course of 10 years, federal funding for it will be going down by around $880 billion. As well as the mandatory 80 hours of work. I think that's going to be very troubling for certain people in this economy because of how hard it is for people to get jobs. Now, for people who do work, it'll be good for them. However, for people who can't work or people who can't get jobs, because if we're just looking at the job market, job instability is a lot higher right now because so many jobs are being automated or replaced with AI. So I think that we're going to have to look at that and consider how that's going to affect the decrease in job market. Even people who are college graduates are struggling to get jobs. And that's because there's so much push in the IT industry, but there's not a lot of people hiring.
Okay.
On top of that, there are other industries that are just being automated.
Okay. But one industry we're going to talk about is the agriculture industry, the farm industry, where now able-bodied, all these people is not working, get back to the farm industry, because the illusion was the immigrant does the job, American's not going to do the job. So if you think that industry, and I think the Secretary of Agriculture mentioned it last week, to get these people back to working. But that's one industry that's going to flourish.
Yeah, I definitely think so, especially if we're able to get through with the property taxes. But on top of that, the tax cuts for workers is definitely going to help out there.
All right, thank you, Sister Warrior. You got 1 minute, and the time is running.
All right. I just wanted to talk about an event that I'm sponsoring happening this weekend. There's a couple of them happening, but this is a financial workshop, and it's to come and learn how America and money works. And so things that they're offering is, how to start your business, how to get your business entities, how to structure your business, how to fill out your documents, and things like that. So it's a free workshop happening tomorrow, not Friday, but Saturday at the downtown library at 11 a.m. So that's 101 Central Boulevard on the 3rd floor, downtown library. And you can come and learn a little something about how America and money works.
All right. Thank you, Sister Roya. Have a good one. Dr. White, it's all yours.
Yes, you can start following me now on Substacks at Vibrant White at True One Liberation. If you want to hear what I have to say, want to follow my thoughts, come join us on Substacks. And also on August the 2nd, don't forget that I'm speaking on Blacklisted in a State of Our Country at the Winter Park Library, 1052 West Morris Boulevard, Winter Park, August the 2nd, 2 o'clock.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. White, and thank you, Vibrant. Thank you, Sister Warrior. Thank you, Jeff. Lady D is already in the house, ready to go. Okay. So salute to you, my fair lady, my queen. So stay tuned with Lady D. Have a good one, and I'll see you guys next Thursday.
Yes.